let's do a review. So today we have here the Husqvarna 130C curved shaft string trimmer. Now in this video we're going to go over some specs first of all, then we're going to run the hell out of this thing and see what it's made out of. Then we're actually going to tear it apart and see what it's really made out of. So stay tuned. Now the 130C is a 17-inch cut string trimmer. It comes in at about 11.3 pounds. It has a 1.7 cubic inch two-stroke engine that produces 1 horsepower at 8,000 RPM. Now I originally purchased this trimmer for mainly one reason. My go-to trimmer is a Husqvarna 128 LD, and it's bigger, it's in my opinion clumsier, it has pretty much the same power output, same weight, but bigger, and this thing is just, in my opinion, it would have been great for just grabbing and going, for smaller jobs, for edging the lawn, just minor weed cutting. Now, I'm a 43-year-old male with a bad back, so something that's easy to grab and go is just a good idea. Now let's get into running the hell out of this thing. Alright, so we ran the hell out of the 130C out there for quite a while. My back between my shoulders started getting a little sore after about a half hour, but that's my injury, not yours. As you could see in some of the footage, one-handed operation from time to time, not a big deal at all. I'm pretty impressed with how it goes. One thing that bugged me a little bit was when you were edging, when you kind of pulled the thing up on your side here, the cover over the exhaust gets rather hot, and it doesn't take long to become pretty uncomfortable doing it that way. But I guess as far as that goes, what do you expect? It's part of the exhaust. But now we see how the thing works. Let's tear it apart and see what it's made of. Now, in my very unprofessional opinion, the Husqvarna 130C is just built to run. It's built hassle-free. I think I mentioned in one of my original videos, my unboxing, that I was a little weirded out about how the choke worked, but it's built to run. It's built to run a long time. It's built to last, and when you do inevitably have an issue with it, as you can see here, it's built to be repaired. The crankcase splits in two, unlike my Husqvarna 440 power saw where half the crankcase is plastic. We'll get into that another day. This is just, it's all metal. It's good construction. I'm almost excited to break it just to see how cool it is to work on and fix. Now the little dogs there are made out of plastic. I don't know how long they'll last, but they show no wear over what I have on it so far. You might see the two screw holes on either side. Now, when you take the rear of the case off, they used Loctite or something on those, so you got to get a good grip on your screwdriver to avoid stripping something out. Those ones were rather tight in there. When it comes to the exhaust, it's, you know, it's EPA, smog, California certified, compliant. I guess what can you say about that? It's a fairly standard exhaust. Doesn't have a super high note. I believe it was 97 decibels at your ears, but you're still going to want to wear ear protection, as you should whenever you're running a two-stroke engine, regardless of half the time you see me not doing it. Do as I say, not as I do in that regard. The ignition is rather interesting. When you pull the muffler cover, the guard off, it exposes the coil and everything. Now, according to Husqvarna's website, it's got a hassle-free electronic ignition system, and judging from the construction of it and how beefy it is, I can't see any reason why you would have to be concerned about it for years to come. Now we get down to the part that I like, but I don't understand, and that is the vibration damping system. Now I'll be honest, I didn't tear this part apart because I couldn't really find a schematic on the internet on how it was made or what it consists of, and I was so concerned that if I took it apart, there's going to be a bunch of springs and O-rings and washers or whatever that are going to fly out everywhere, and I'll never get it back together. So I can tell you that whatever Husqvarna's done here with this vibration damping system absolutely works, and it works like a charm. Maybe one day when we have an issue with it, we'll take it apart and see what makes it tick, but until then, we'll just be happy that it works. And now we get to the hard part of the review. My final thoughts, my recommendations. You know, I believe this thing is very well built. It's stout. It's not super heavy. Maybe a little heavier than I'd like it to be. I mentioned that the choke I was a little sketched out about, but I mean it works. It's built beefy just like everything else. It's built to do what Husqvarna's are made to do. They're made to run. They're made to run a long time. I usually will run a piece of power equipment for a brief amount of time and then I'll tune it. Seems like everything needs to be tuned when you first get it. I haven't tuned this yet. I haven't had to. It runs great. It does have, I'm not a fan of Husqvarna's air filter system. I like washing my air filters and reusing them. This one, similar to my power saw and my blower and my other, the 128 LD, it's just a disposable filter. You use it for a season, you throw it away. If you do landscape maintenance, you're going to use it, throw it away several times a season. I will give them props on the captured little thumb screw on the air filter housing. Though I love that. I've lost so many of those over the years with other products that I love the captured stuff. Now, I'll be honest too and say in those pictures you saw, I didn't tear it apart any further than that. I didn't really feel the need to, and I just didn't want to tear it apart and then never get it back together again. So I would have to say, in my honest opinion, in the $200 range, I believe I paid $219 for this on Lowe's. I've seen it on the internet. I believe Husqvarna has it listed on their website for $199. Unfortunately, they also say that it's out of stock. So I would say in the $200 range that this is a very good buy for somebody that wants something that's just compact, very simple to use, runs like a raped ape. I love how it runs. It does have the clutch kicks in at a little high RPM. That was a little difficult to get used to. Those of you that might have these might have noticed that too. But once you get used to it, it's really not that big of a deal. So I do have to say that I absolutely recommend this for, I don't know, just your weekend warrior gardener to take care of weeds around your property. And I will be leaving a link down in the description for you guys to pick one of these up. Now it is going to be an Amazon affiliate link, so the channel will benefit from you guys getting one from there if you choose to do so. And that's it, guys. If you like these types of reviews, let me know in those comments. You see all the other power equipment that I run all the time, so let me know if you want to see a review on some of that stuff too. And if you did like what you saw, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. And we'll catch you on the next one.